Hello everyone. Today is another reading for On Air Candle's In Search of Memory, and sorry if I've been absent for like about a year or something like that. I don't know. Junior life is getting busy, but anyways, back to what I read. And today what I've been reading in Eric his chapter, and I skipped a bunch of chapters because I'm too lazy. In this chapter, Eric Kandel has decided to, in the effort of trying to, discover the next big thing in neurology, and he decided that, to make up the backbone of his work, he's gonna try to make the alplasia, the animal organism that he has been experimenting with for such a long time, that is also known as a sea hare, and is basically an underwater snail that doesn't have a shell, and has a hole from where it breathes because its skull's there. And anyways, he's trying. Anyways, the reason why he's interested in it is because its nervous system is actually pretty big, and you can even see the neurons without even using a microscope, which frankly, if you had to use a microscope, it would be a hassle anyway. But moving on, because of this, he decided to try to use the simplest reflex. He decided to try to make the alplasia learn by modifying its most simplest reflex, which is its own defense reflex of closing up its gill and covering it up, because the gill is a fragile organ that is exposed, and predators can easily damage it. So usually it will close it up quickly if there's any danger to it. So Eric Kandel first decided to experiment on this by using the typical old electrical stimuli and Pavlovian ideology in this. So in something akin to Pavlov's initial experiments with the dogs, he electrically stimulated the alplasia into making it withdraw its defense mechanism, and then he tried it again for a few times until it just decided to stop, because it realized that the electrical stimulation is just trivial. So from then on, from all those electric stimuli would not mean a thing until he sent out a stronger current, which then made it close up. And this was typical of what you would expect from any Pavlovian-like experiment. But however, Kandel is trying to make the alplasia learn how to not really use this defensive mechanism and see the electric stimuli as trivial for the long term. Well, he did it for the short term, which is about 40 times in one day, which effectively just makes the whole effect of it remembering last about only maybe about a day or a few hours. But when he did it 10 times for about 4 days, it remembers the same stimuli for about a week, which is actually a pretty huge jump, which means the stimuli is somehow made it into his long-term memory. So in fact, he modified it. But at the same time, he decided to go deeper and look into its nerves again, specifically looking at the ganglion where he previously looked upon cell R2, and And in that ganglion, which by the way is a bundle of nerves, he found cell L7 being responsible for the aplasia. For the aplasia's gill withdrawal, which, as you can see here, there's cell L7, which is directly responsible for the gill withdrawal, and then he decided to try stimulating this specific cell, and thus the same effect happened. So now because the aplasia is relatively large neurons, he was able to stimulate it directly at the neuron without having it electrically stimulated from the tail in general. So therefore, he has also found a way to directly modify an aplasia's behavior, and thus set the backbone for his later work. And for a relatively short chapter, it is a relatively short video. So this is Brian and my reading today. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.